All right, guys, welcome to Football Cruise on Nigeria Footballer Steve. Well, it's looking like a bit of a special edition because we are live at the Moshood Abiola Stadium where the Super Eagles will be taking on Ghana for that reverse fixture for the 2022 Qatar World Cup qualifiers. Well, I'm not alone on the show today. I have my favorite duo with me. I have Lamid Momo with me, and of course, Bolu on my far left. Now, let me begin with you, Lamid. We are at the Moshood Abiola Stadium.
Yeah.
Tell us what you make of the stadium. Looking all beautiful for you. Yeah?
I think it's a fantastic edifice. I mean, really, it's quite huge, and I personally think that this would be a very, very fantastic match for the Super Eagles because the support here. I mean, if this is just half full,
Yeah.
it's going to be great. Just imagine if it's totally full. So for me, I think it's a fantastic edifice, and looking forward to the match.
All right, Bolu, 60,000 capacity, the Moshood Abiola Stadium. We saw what happened at the Baba Sports Stadium. We saw how the stadium was, filled up. Now, it's been a while the Super Eagles are at the Abuja National Stadium. So what do you make of this stadium and how crucial will this game here be looking ahead at the reverse fixture?
Yeah, I must say I'm personally very impressed by what I've seen so far. And I can't wait till match day. I can't wait to hear, know that hear the crowd and the roar of the crowd, the Nigerian crowd. And there's this special feeling when you hear the Nigerian crowd trying to support the Super Eagles. So I can't wait to, see this place fill up on Tuesday.
All right, guys, so we've seen the first leg. It is 0-0 at the Baba Sports Stadium. And of course, just in a couple of days' time, we would know who would qualify for the Qatar 2022 World Cup qualifiers. Will it be the Super Eagles or will it be the Ghanaian national team? But what did you guys make of that first leg game at the Baba Sports Stadium? And what are we looking forward to in the reverse fixture? Don't to go anywhere. We'll be right back on Football Cruise. Welcome back, guys. It is still Football Cruise on Nigeria Footballers TV. And once again, we are doing this live from the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Nigeria, where the Super Eagles will be taking on Ghana for that reverse fixture. Guys, the guys are currently training, as you can see behind us. You see the managers dishing out instructions to the guys. It's looking forward to be an interesting game. But just before we go into the game, let's talk about the first game at the Baba Sports Stadium. Lamid, in your own words, summarize the game in Ghana.
Personally, I think I don't know. I feel we're quite comfortable in the game. I don't know. I mean, at no point in the game did I feel like we're going to concede. The first 30 minutes, obviously the Ghanaians and the way they came out, they offed and puffed and tried to intimidate us. But I think we held our own because, I mean, if you even look at it properly, I think we also had the two best chances in the game all through. So
Aribo had one, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, it was tense at first, but I think we handled the situation very well.
All right, Bolu, the way the manager set up in that game, was it what you were expecting? We saw the flat 43, the likes of Moses Simon, Osimhen, and Samuel Chukwueze up top. Was it what you were expecting ahead of that game?
Well, the manager decided to go for familiarity. He made only 2 changes from the last game at the AFCON, which were enforced changes for Maduka Okoye and for Ndidi as well. So I was surprised a bit, but I understood, wanting that continuity, especially because he's early on in his tenure and, he needs people who he has worked with, who already understand. So, I mean, so far so good. Yeah, it wasn't bad. We didn't lose the game, but I expect a couple more, maybe 1 or 2 more seismic changes in the second leg. To based on what happened in the first leg. Trying to get the results we need in the second leg.
Let's talk about the guys now who came in for the guys that weren't available. First, in the goalkeeping position, we saw Francis Uzoho. What do you make of his performances? He was quite commanding in that game. Trying to dish out instructions to the defenders in front of him. But overall, what do you make of Uzoho's performance? Do you think he did so well in that game?
To be fair, Uzoho was quite comfortable. He was barely tested, but and he was also very vocal. I was impressed by how animated and vocal he was with his defenders, which is something we don't necessarily see from Maduka Okoye from time to time. But personally, I don't see much of a difference between Maduka and Uzoho based on their general quality because I still feel like Uzoho still needs to get rid of a few lapses in his game. Knowing when to handle the ball, when to make sure he relieves the pressure from the defense. There was a rare chance Ghana had in the first leg that he could have comfortably caught and held on to, but he spilled it for a corner, And that's something that also happened during the AFCON, the one game he played at AFCON. I noticed that too. So that's a small detail that, you can be punished for against the big sides in the World Cup. But I mean, he had a comfortable game in the first leg, so I expect more of the same in the second leg.
Moving to the midfield now, Lamid, Innocent Bonke, he came in for the injured Wilfred Ndidi. For me, I felt the basics, he did his basics so well. He's the Bonke we know. He's, always on the tackle.
Sometimes
breaking up plays. Yeah, sometimes rash. But overall, do you think Bonke did so well to retain his position ahead of that second leg game?
Okay, so I'm very, very honest. Yeah, I think. Okay, so Bonke was decent,
Yeah.
but I think it could have been way better. I think you saw the difference when Etebo stepped onto the pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, it was clear, it was night and day. So for me, I mean, Bonke did what he could do, but I think second leg is a no-brainer for me. I think Etebo should start. That's just my personal opinion.
All right, guys. Still from that game in at the Babayara Sports Stadium, Joe Aribo now. It seems like a bit of a conundrum now for we fans watching the game. I feel he's sitting too deep. We saw from the chance he had. It was as a result of him running into the box. And that's what we see at Rangers as well. Do you want to see a change of position for Joe Aribo? What do you make of Joe Aribo's position in the national team?
I think I've always questioned Joe Aribo's inclusion, actually, to be very, very honest. Because I feel like because the kind of formation Eguavoen plays, but having two midfielders, I think that's not suitable for him.
Yeah.
But to be fair, in the Ghana game, it was quite. I was actually very, very surprised when he got taken off. It was strange for me. And considering his position, I just think Eguavoen is a very. I think Eguavoen is quite rigid. I mean, everybody knows your job. You don't try to be over adventurous. At least that's what I've seen from. I mean, sets up in a way, and you think that it's an attacking setup. But then when they come, the players that tend to be very, very strict, and they know where to go, and they don't tend to be adventurous. So that's what I've noticed about Eguavoen. So for me, I think that's a Augustine Eguavoen problem. I don't think that's a Joe Aribo's problem. Yeah. So for me, I mean, yeah. Lots of improvement needed.
All right, Bolu, it's fair to say a couple of our players, the Nigerian players on the day, didn't have a good game. Moses Simon, we saw at the AFCON, it wasn't at his best on the day. Osimhen was, struggling to get the ball. What do you think led to that? Do you think it has a thing to do with the setup at the end of the day, looking at that fixture at the Babayara Sports Stadium?
Yeah, football is a game of details, and on the day, you have to consider it was an away game. It was a late night game. I think the weather in Ghana was also not very favorable. And most importantly, the pitch at the Babayara Stadium.
Yeah.
From the very opening moments of the game, I noticed the pitch wasn't the best condition. The players were obviously struggling to move with the ball. Players who naturally run with the ball were struggling to, Moses Simon especially, they were struggling to control the ball, struggling to run with the ball. Olaino really struggled. I noticed Olaino literally dragging himself to run with the ball, dragging the ball to run with it. And I think, as you can see here, the pitch at the Abuja Stadium is in very good condition. So I think we'll play a much better game here on Tuesday. So I'm expecting much better fluid attacking play. The first leg at the Babayara Stadium was probably the least exciting game under Eguavoen so far. And I'll blame her on the pitch personally, because so far all the games he has coached the national team in Cameroon, good pitch in Garoua, and hopefully good pitching in Abuja too. So I expect to see the Super Eagles we saw at the AFCON here on Tuesday.
To be fair to the Ghanaians, they gave a good account of themselves. So a couple of our Ghanaian players, for the likes of Afenagian, your first game in the national team, he did so well. It was a threat moving forward, especially in that first few minutes of the game as well, and some other players as well. How impressive were you with the Ghanaian side? On the last episode of the show, I was talking about the squad, how impressive the squad is. Young, you could see the touch of a new manager in that squad. But how impressive was the Ghanaian side for you, in that game?
For me, yeah, I think personally, Afenagian was quite impressive in the first half.
Yeah.
And he was running behind, and you could see that Ekong was struggling, and it got to a point Balogun was literally covering up for him a lot, So I think it was quite decent. Some of the new guys also played well, and Odoi right back, his debut for Ghana. I think he did quite well, but I don't think Moses Simon tested him, enough. So for me, yeah, it was a decent appearance for the Ghanaian players. But for me, like I said, we didn't even play to our, I don't think we played up to half to our potential. If I'm very, very honest, I don't think we play up to half of our potential. So for me, I think if our players just raise their game for the next game, for me, I don't think that will be a problem personally.
All right, guys, the players are training at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, and from what we can see at the training, Samuel Chukwueze, wasn't training with the team. He started the training, but we don't know if that might spring a change for that reverse fixture here at the Moshood Abiola Stadium. That will lead us to us previewing that game in a couple of days' time. So, guys, what do you want to see? What are the changes do you want to see, ahead of this game at the Moshood Abiola Stadium? In terms of personnel, do you want to see a couple of changes in the Super Eagles starting lineup for that game?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I expect some seismic changes based on the first leg. I expect to see some changes in the second leg. Like you said, Samachukwueze didn't train today, so fingers crossed. I don't know what the update is on his fitness, but it seems Ademola Lookman took his place in the lineup during training. But I personally expect Emmanuel Dennis to play because Emmanuel Dennis came on for him on that right wing position, and he played much better. He was drifting from left to right, but even on the right, Emmanuel Dennis looked very threatening, and I expect him to start and then probably switching positions with Moses Simon to try to hurt the Ghanaians, and especially Dennis Odoye, because I think the first leg Dennis Odoye was too comfortable in his debut. Moses Simon didn't have enough chances to run at him. That was because of the pitch, like I said. So I expect a much better game. I expect to see us take the game to them in the second leg because it's a must-win game for us.
Still same formation for you? Still the same 4-3-3 we saw Eguavon play?
Yeah. Well, 4-2-3-1, but if you want to make it a hybrid 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, I think Joaribo needs to play behind Osimhen. So we have two midfielders and Aribo as well. So, it feels like a 4-3-3, but then there's that balance between midfield and attack because Aribo we will have the license to go forward. But, there's the big shoes of senior man there. So, I mean, senior man is a well-respected member of the squad of the national team. So, I don't know. That's up to Eguavon, but hopefully we just win the game.
All right, Lamid, for you, for me personally, I don't know, I'm putting this to you now. This is my opinion to you, but I don't know what you think. I want to see that bit of, it's a crucial game, no doubt. I want to see that bit of unpredictability from the lineup. And the player that comes to mind is the young Akinkunmi Amo. We saw the manager, having some moments with him in training session, having that close conversation with him. Is he a player you want to see come into the starting lineup and maybe bring that unpredictability to the side? Is a player the Ghanaians might not know much about. Just come, bring a bit of surprise to the Ghanaian national team.
I mean, that's a possibility because I think he's a very creative player, very explosive.
Yeah,
but for me, I think I would prefer Dennis. Because I think Dennis probably. I mean, Dennis has played in top live football for a while, longer than Amo. So that's not taking anything from Amo. I just think Dennis for me is a safer option. Dennis, Lookman, I think they are safer options. But if I see Amo there, I would not be surprised because I also I don't trust him because I've not seen him play for his Super Eagles before. Yeah. But I think he can do a job.
That's why I say it could be a big call.
Yeah, I think he can do a job if he's scored upon.
So, in terms of personnel now, guys, do you want to see the same personnel retain? I mean, we can all agree the back four is pretty settled. Same back four might still start the game. Uzoho in goal, Ekong, Balogun, Aino, and Zaidu. Now, where the change might likely come might be in the midfield and in the attack. So, from you guys, your opinions in terms of personnel, who do you want to see in the midfield and in the attack for the Super Eagles?
Personally, for me, I don't think Iheanacho should start this game. I've said it for a while, and that's not taking anything away from Iheanacho. I just think it does not give enough for the team. I mean, he probably is only relevant when he gets a goal. Without him getting a goal, his entire play is always very, very questionable.
Doesn't add more to the defensive side of the game.
For me, I think Iheanacho should sit. For me, so it should just be a flat 4-3-3. 3 attackers, and the attackers probably be maybe Dennis, Osimhen, and we'll probably give Moses Simon one more
try again.
Then you have the likes of Etebo, Onyeka, and Aribo.
The midfield.
For me, yeah. So for me, I think that's my starting line. I think that starting line would get the job done against Ghana.
All right, Bolu, for you, in terms of personnel, do you agree with Lamid? Do you want to see a change in that midfield and as well in the attack? Because that's where the likely changes might come in the starting lineup for the Super Eagles.
Yeah, I would agree with Lamid on that actually, because I've always understood the inclusion of Iheanacho based on the fact that we need an extra threat in the team. Yeah. Aside Osimhen as the main striker, we need someone who thinks like a striker, which is Iheanacho. But if we have Emmanuel Dennis on the wings, I mean that's as good as playing two strikers.
But we saw Iheanacho in the last game as well. He didn't add so much threat.
It wasn't very effectual, and that's why I'm saying Dennis is a bit more of an explosive player. If we have Osimhen doing his thing, Dennis on the wing also doing this, and that's a two-pronged attack. Yeah. Simon supplying them, Aribo making the runs from behind them. Yeah, that's good enough, and we can always have Iheanacho come off the bench. I think that would be an even more dangerous prospect for us than him starting the game.
All right, guys, let's talk about. We didn't score a goal at the Barriera Sports Stadium. The away goal rules still count. Does that put us in a much bigger pressure compared to the Ghanaian national team. I mean, the manager of the Ghanaian side, Otto Addo, has come out to say the Super Eagles are under the bigger pressure. So are we not getting a goal at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium? Do you think it puts us in more pressure? For the Ghanaians, they would want to come here and score that away goal, just put the team under pressure. So do you think it's a bit more pressure for the Super Eagles than the Ghanaian national
Of
team?
course, yeah. I think it's put us under severe pressure. You know, and I think that not getting a goal was. I mean, that was not the best thing for us, okay?
Yeah,
Because coming now, the Ghanaians could literally just decide to sit and
yeah,
just play counter for the rest of the game.
and they
You
have
know,
fast players as well. We
and they
could
have
do that.
fast players, so they might worry us. So for me, I think we are under. Yeah, I think I agree with the Ghana coach. I think we are under most pressure, but I think the players can rise up to it. And with Osimhen in the squad, you always have a chance.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I think I hope we rise up to it, and I think we'll get the job done. I've always said it.
All right, Bolu, for you, do you agree with the Ghanaian manager that how big of a pressure will it be for the Super Eagles, and how do you think the players could handle that? I mean, it's a 60,000 capacity stadium. The fans will be expecting a lot from the team. The jeers, the boos as well. You might want to say from the Ghanaian fans who will be here in the stadium as well. How do you think the players will handle this pressure? It's a crucial game, a big game.
Yeah, there's definitely pressure, but I think it's good pressure. You're under pressure to score at home.
Yeah.
That's good pressure. I mean, I'll take that kind of pressure. So I think to score a goal at home, we can do that. We have the players that can score a couple of goals. So I think it's good pressure. They just know that they need to step up. They already played the Ghanaians. They know that was their best. They were playing at home, ruled by their home crowd and all that, and they couldn't score a goal. So I think now it's up to us to show them that, yeah, we're better than they are. We have better players. We have a better pitch. So I think it's good pressure, and I hope we rise up to the occasion, and I feel we can rise up to the occasion.
All right, guys, we've heard from the guys on the show. It's a big game coming up tomorrow for the Super Eagles here at the Moshood Abiola Stadium. And what is at stake? It is a place at the Qatar 2022 World Cup later this year. Will the Super Eagles live up to the pressure? Will the fans, cheer the team on and lead the team to victory? We all expecting, the Super Eagles to go through here at the Moshood Abiola Stadium. Guys, it has been Football Cruise on Nigeria Footballers TV here at the beautiful Moshood Abiola Stadium. And we hope at the end of the day, the Super Eagles will get the much needed results to progress to the Qatar 2022 World Cup. I remain Emmanuel Sebastian, and I've been with Lamid Momo on the show and as well Bolu on the show. Stick with us, guys, till we come away again next time. Keep cruising.